Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with another video for you. Today I would like to talk about breaking free of cycles, transcending limitations, and experiencing synchronicity. So in this short video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover some tips for you on what I did as a person in recovery to break free from limitation, to create abundance, to experience synchronicity, and to step into our purpose. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. A lot of people are familiar with this movie, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is where the actor, Bill Murray, is caught in the same day. He's repeating the same 24-hour cycle in this movie, blockbuster hit, back in the day, old school. And he's repeating the same day over and over again. And no matter what he does in this movie, he keeps waking up and restarting the day again and restarting the day again. It's a really good movie because it is a metaphor. This is a metaphor for the current state of being of the human race. Is that essentially, and the kicker is, most people don't even know this. If you're watching this, you're probably well aware, but most people are caught reliving the same day. Most of us are addicted to the same familiar energy, recreating the same reality, stuck in a loop. Even people that are progressing on the spiritual path who have created abundance, what they've done is they've adjusted their 24-hour routine to incorporate new things, to incorporate a growth mindset, to embrace new activities, to step into the unknown, and to grow. So in this video, we're going to talk about taking the leap. That's the first thing.
Tank, load the jump program. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind. Well, okie dokie. For my part.
What if he makes it?
What if I made the first jump?
I know. But what if he does?
He won't.
Come on.
Right. No problem. See my mind. In my mind, no problem. Right. God.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Everybody falls the first time. Right, friend?
So in this scene, what we find is Neo, who's actually the one. He's in the simulation, he's in the training program with Morpheus. Morpheus takes the leap, and then it's Neo's turn, and he's running, and everybody's amped up, and what happens? He falls. And what does that tell you? Even Neo, even the one, did not get the leap the first time. It's like Cypher said, nobody makes the leap the first time. And that speaks to the truth of our reality, of this third dimension existence, is that you can expect to fail. However, failure isn't failure. What real failure is never trying to make the leap, because when you fail to make the leap, you learn from what you did wrong and you continue. So first rule is, as we expect to transcend limitations, and this hit me like a download one day. I was brushing my teeth and hit me like a download. Even Neo failed to make the first leap. So what's that tell you? Is that, and it's the process. You've got to try, and you can expect to fail, but you got to learn to grow and learn from your failures. The leap metaphor might be a little over the top for a lot of us. I mean, we're not trying to become superhuman, at least not most of us. Some of us have and are and will continue to. But for the most part, for most of us, just transcending the ordinary, just finding fulfillment and purpose, that would suffice. And so that brings me to the next step of this, is that, yes, we don't necessarily have to make radical leaps. I mean, that would be ideal, to work towards that, or to trust the process. but just making small steps, small changes into the unknown, small changes into our daily routine. The problem is that we are experiencing our reality, which we create as a result of how we are thinking, acting, and feeling, which is another word for karma. Our karma has created the reality that we are currently experiencing, and that karma carries momentum. It's not going to stop on a dime. In order to reverse the direction, radical changes in the opposite direction are necessary. This is very fundamental to 12 steps, 12-step recovery programs, which I participate in and which I sponsor guys in, is that we need to take action, selfless action, and we need to modify our daily routines. And so the leap scenario, maybe a little over the top, maybe not. But what I will say is when the pain of remaining the same outweighs the fear of change, that's when we got to push ourselves. And for me, and for a lot of people, that's hard to do if we don't have a why, if we haven't tapped into our purpose, our reason for being, our reason for existing. And that reason, I can assure you, involves unity consciousness, service to others, growth, evolution, expansion of the soul. Everything we need is within us. And so breaking free from these limiting patterns is a lifelong process. Unfortunately, I spent the first half of my life downloading unhealthy programs, self-limiting beliefs that 5 years ago, my spiritual awakening shattered all those out of the water, and now I'm in the process of unlearning them, of uninstalling them, and realizing that I'm here to make a difference, and so are you, and I'd like to encourage you. The belief, the idea that I can't make a difference or that you can't make a difference is a matrix program. It needs to be uninstalled. We need to uninstall these programs and rise up and step into service to others, service to the all, service towards unity consciousness, evolution, expansion. And how we do that is continuous steps into the unknown and finding ways to be more present, breaking my identification with the character and understanding that this is all a dream. The universe exists in me as much as I exist in the universe. And that vision of oneness will emerge. You know, I spent 5 years, I'll just speak candidly, up until 5 years ago when I had my spiritual awakening, I wanted to die. My programming had become so negative and so self-destruction that I literally sought death. And when COVID rolled around, I reached this dark night of the soul where I went inward. I was like, you know, God, spirit of the universe, creator, source, consciousness, whatever we want to call it, whatever you want to call it. Well, who am I? Why am I here? And what is my purpose? You obviously aren't going to let me die because now, but at that time, about 39, I should have been dead multiple times. In fact, I did die and I had to be brought back. And so, you know, that is when through soul searching, I was granted this spiritual awakening. And I've been on this awakening journey and developing myself the past 5 years and have experienced mind-blowing synchronicity due to my study of the ancient, what ancient masters throughout the ages have known is that this universe is consciousness. I am consciousness. You are consciousness. We are all consciousness. Modern science is beginning to catch up with this, realizing there is no objective reality beyond the observer. The quantum physics, Nobel Prize for quantum physics went to a guy who proved non-locality. That time, space is doomed. It is not fundamental. There's a higher order of reality. There are higher dimensions. And I reside there. And you reside there. We are all consciousness. We are all one. And a lot of this is really hard to incorporate. You know, we've got a lot of the programming and conditioning runs very deep down to our DNA. But uninstalling this and incorporating changes in our daily routine, whatever that takes, is the key to an abundant and fulfilling life. When I'm out of the way and when I'm looking after the needs of others and when I'm seeking for ways to put value into the world, everything else works out. My needs are met simultaneously because we're all one. The more value I present to the field of life being impersonal impersonal consciousness, the more value I put there, the more I am rewarded. And it's not about me. It's no longer about me. You know, it's not that I think of myself. It's not that I think less of myself. It's that I think of myself less. As I understand the fundamental unity of this creation, of this universe, that we are all one. What a joyous time to be alive. And I could go on and on and on with this, but I want to pause here and I just want to recap. Just a quick recap, because if you've stayed with me this long, you are my friend. And I am on your side and I am here to help you. This isn't about me. This is about you. It's about your potential, which is limitless. Okay? You clicked on this video and you followed this far for a reason. I'm talking to you. And what I'm saying is action steps moving forward. Take a look at your 24-hour routine. Okay? If you haven't noticed, very familiar pattern, right? Few variables, but essentially it's the same pattern. Take a look at that routine and ask yourself, what are one or two things I could change in a week to incorporate into my habitual routine, to incorporate in this cycle, non-negotiable, that puts me in the direction of growth. It could be anything. It could be going to the gym, it could be eating healthier, it could be making daily videos. Something that you can incorporate into your daily routine that once it becomes a habit, you can look back, you can check back with me. You can say, all right, I've done this, what now? I also, I have a book available on Amazon, but the copy of that is in my on my channel page, the link. I'm not really here to promote that. I'm here to help people and serve others and help us step into our highest potential, our highest timeline to facilitate evolution. So fundamental to evolution is our daily routine. Incorporate something, see how make that a part of your routine. Once you've adjusted to it, we step more out of our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is where the dreams go to die. When we remain in our comfort zone, when we remain stuck in that familiar energy, we can expect no growth. So then a second action step is get into the routine, get into the habit on a regular basis of asking yourself honestly, does this support, whatever the thing is, each area of your life, does this support the life I'm trying to create? Ask yourself that honestly, and if it doesn't, let it go. Cut it out of your life. It's okay to be selfish. We have to have boundaries in certain areas where if people are taking advantages of us, if we're toxic, if we have energy vampires that are toxic, maybe we got to cut that cord. We got to cut that cord because you're not going to be good to anybody else if you aren't at your best, at your highest potential. In any case, I hope this video has been helpful in enlightening us into new patterns, new behaviors for growth and expansion. Man, I so much appreciate you staying with me. I love you. Namaste.